Hello, good morning. Welcome in to the OnlyBets Sports Podcast Friday edition alongside Stern Bets. True to looking, I'm the Prince of Picks. Got an action-packed weekend of sports lined up here to cover over the next few days. Of course, we've got soccer again in full action as a lot of our European leagues are coming back into play here. Domestic leagues across Europe are starting to ramp up and get going here. So we'll definitely have some plays for some of those. Of course, we've got Major League Baseball. We've got the UFC coming up tomorrow as well. So lots of action to follow here. Of course, PGA golf. Brian was kind enough to give us some of his best plays over the weekend here on Wednesday. So we'll be telling that tournament as well. And everything else going on in the sports world. So really excited. We're getting closer and closer to what we call the sports equinox, where all the sports kind of converge and come together at the same time. So brighter days ahead here in terms of the sports world, sports entertainment, and definitely sports betting. Let me go and bring in Mosh. Good morning, Stern. Happy Friday, sir. What's going on, bro?
Happy morning indeed. Looking forward to ending this week, getting into the weekend. I am wiped. I am tired. I am ready for this week to be over. I don't know if it's just me, but
I'm with you, brother, and I'm with you, brother. For some reason, it's been a long week, man. I am so ready.
yeah. I just wanted to touch on something which was very interesting for Kevin Gosman here. I was watching the game yesterday, and I thought he pitched pretty well through the first few innings, and then all of a sudden, the third time around the order, he just got shellacked, which was awkward. So yeah, nice win for the Nationals. Wondering if they can keep it two in a row. A lot of things going on today in the world of sports, which I'm excited for. We obviously have Chris Sale and Yoshinobu Yamamoto to look out for. But the person that I really have my eye on is Michael King. He's facing Cleveland, and we kind of saw some of the old King last time out, and I think that we're going to start seeing some improvements there. So something to look out for on today's baseball slate. But in terms of the picks yesterday, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 4. I hit my Red Sox -1.5. That was a really nice play because they were on a losing streak, and I correctly predicted them to bounce back. So that was a feel good moment. And then I went 5 and 4. My first inning plays, not where I would like it to be. Unfortunately, the White Sox first inning money line, they scored in the first inning. So did Colorado. So unfortunately, didn't cash that. But overall, feeling pretty good. I got a whole slate of first inning plays if you guys are interested. But yeah, let's get into it. Prince, how did you do yesterday on your plays?
Yeah, so for me, we went 3-1 on the show plays. So nice little bounce back for what we were earlier in the week. We had Karabakh to score, Ilves to score, Rigas to score. All those three hit for a nice little plus 112 parlay. We also had the Portland Timbers straight up on the money line last night in the League's Cup. That cash, they won that one 3-1. So nice little sweat free win there. And then we also had Cruz Azul, Chicago Fire. First half under one goal at plus 100. That one cashed as well for a halftime score was 0-0. So 3-1. We missed on our one Icelandic play, but 3-1. I'll take that all day, every day.
Yes, sir. Good day for the brand. Drew, are you with us? And how did Parker Bessick do yesterday? He might still be
I think
getting.
he's having difficulties. Yeah, sorry. Mhm.
Yeah, gosh, yeah, I don't know what to do about this Twitter thing. I mean, I do know what to do about it. I just have to stop being lazy and figure it out. Oh man, let's see if this will work. Oh, Addison, can you hear us? All right. Yeah, just try restarting the space. And oh, Addison, can you hear me? I see the speaker icon next to your name.
Hey, hey, hey. Check one, two.
Hey, buddy. By the way, I'm so sorry about those NFL pre the each team to kick off or to punt in their first possession. For some reason, I didn't realize that you were talking about the preseason games. I thought you were talking about NFL week one. NFL week one, I really like those plays. I really don't have anything for preseason. I apologize. I should have known better. It even slipped my mind that yesterday there were games until Prince was like, "Hey, let's do this parlay." Speaking of, by the way, he missed that parlay by one. It was a 6-leg money line parlay. But anyway, Edison, how you doing? Any thoughts?
Oh no, it's all good. It was just a DGen bet, something for fun to make these worthless games something interesting at least.
I love that term,
at the
degen
start.
bet. I might take that.
Yeah, you can have it.
Because yeah, sometimes you just want some action.
Yeah, just something fun, and it's like a coin flip bet, really. Even
Oh,
though
I
it's a
can't hear
four-way
you, Addison. I
market, but
apologize. It might be Twitter Spaces.
oh,
I brought in Drew, so it might have kicked you out. Just try taking yourself off mute and speaking again. I might be able to hear you.
hey, check
No,
1 2
nothing.
1
Sorry.
2.
Just yeah,
hold
refresh
on, hold on,
and I'll
hold
bring you
on,
up again. I
Edison.
apologize. All right,
Hold
Drew,
on,
can you hear
Edison.
me?
Hold on. I know Mosh can't hear me. Drew, I know you can hear me. Edison, I know you can hear me.
This
Let
is
me
going to
text
be a
Mosh and
fun
let him
show,
know that
guys.
it's his
Prince, can you
problem.
hear me? It might be me. All right, Prince, take over while I reconnect.
All right,
I can
guys.
hear you.
I just sorry, guys. I just texted him. You guys got to be patient. All right. I just texted him, let him know that the issue's on his end. So he's gonna try to get that situation while I take over. All right. So it's me, you, and Edison right now, and we'll see when Stern come back. Can you guys hear the music?
Yeah, I can hear the music. It's
Yes, I
beautiful.
can hear it.
Let me see if I can get him to mute himself. Hold on. Give me a sec, guys. I'm texting him. Okay, I think he might have muted himself. I can't see if he muted himself or not. Yeah, we got to figure something else out, guys. This spaces thing is not going to work much longer. I don't know what other opportunities we're going to have. But in any case, let's keep the show going, guys. We'll keep it rolling without him. Hopefully, he can figure it out. But Addison, I'll get to you first. I know since you requested to speak, did you have anything on your mind? Was there anything that you wanted to talk about here?
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in. I don't know if you guys do any arbitrage betting. Sometimes I dabble in that. It's a good way to build the bankroll. But there's a nice 9% ARB out there for tonight's preseason NFL game. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team points. You can do over 13.5 at plus 140. That's at Bet365. You can do under 13.5 plus 100, and that's at Caesars. That's a 9% guaranteed profit. So however much money you can get down on both sides, add it up, uh, find 9% of that, and there's your profit.
Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah, Moshe's really big into that. He's always doing hedges and arbitrages. He's always giving them out to every day over in our group chat. So okay, so what was it again? I'm sorry. It's over 13.5 on Bet365, and then under 13.5 on Caesars.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, and that's the Tampa Bay Bucks.
That's the Bucks team total. Yes.
Perfect, awesome. Okay, cool. Putting that in right now. Great, awesome. Yeah, I love those plays.
I do
Anytime.
have
Yeah, go
a
ahead, Drew. What's up? Mhm.
so for Addison for that one, is it pretty much even on both sides when it comes to betting wise, or is there a certain amount of units on each side for the 9% that you have to do?
Yeah, so you can find ARB calculators out there. Basically, what you want to do at the end of the day is to have the same payout. So yeah, you're going to have to bet a little bit more on the plus 100 side than you are the plus 140 side, obviously. I can do a really quick calculation for you here. Let's say you're putting $100 on the 140 side. On the 100 side, you're going to want to put $120, and that'll get you a profit of $20, which is 9.09%.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I mean, hey, that's some good lunches for the week, if you know what I'm saying.
It's free money. I'll take it. I don't care how much it is. Free money is free money.
But
So,
I love the hedge calculator too that I use generally when I want to hedge too. Like, there's a lot of good tools out there.
Yeah, I can. I'll share the calculator that I generally use. There's tons of them out there, but I find this one to just be very simple. Um, I'll post it in the chat, and they can share it if they want to.
yeah, perfect. Most definitely. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I love any good arbitrage hedge opportunities and stuff like that. So, great stuff for the listeners and great stuff for us. Excited to get that in right now. All right. Since Bush isn't here, we can go ahead and start off with baseball. Maybe he'll be able to reconnect at some point. But, Drew, I'll go to you first. Actually, you know what, Addison, did you have any thoughts on baseball or any other thoughts at all in the sports world that you wanted to get to before I get over to Drew?
We're 10 days away from the return of F1. I can't wait for NFL and hockey to get here, and those are all my thoughts I have today.
Awesome, perfect. Yeah, same here. Can't wait for the NFL specifically. Getting excited as it gets closer and closer here to September. Starting to count down the days to kickoff. So, love the NFL and love football, and can't wait to get the Bears season going here. Personally, as a Bears fan here, I'm hoping for brighter days ahead for us. Hopefully, we can win the division, which me and Mosh might have a side bet here coming up. We'll see about that.
Well, I hope we don't
But
win the division. And also, I apologize. I did join about 2 minutes ago, but I was busy putting in Addison's arbitrage bet. Yeah, I absolutely love that look. If you ever have any arbitrage, please tweet at us because I'm all about it. If you're only betting $10 to $15 a bet, or even $20 a bet, and you get just anywhere from $5 to $10 on an arbitrage in any given direction, it really does boost your bottom line pretty significantly. So I definitely appreciate it.
Can I say this real quick? I love how Moj was able to join right when Prince talked about the Bears. It's like it summoned his connection. That was the best thing ever.
Bad news Bears. All right, let's get into baseball.
The Bears.
Drew, where are you going today? Oh, and how did Parker Messick do yesterday? Just
Wait, can I interrupt you guys real quick? I'm sorry. Can I interrupt you guys just real quick? Addison, I'm sorry. Can you repeat what was the dollar? Because I'm literally putting it in right now. You said 100 on 365 and then 120 on Caesars.
Yeah, that's
That's how
that
it
would
works,
be
right?
one way to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
that
All
would
right.
be
All right.
calculated properly. If you did 100 on plus 140, it's 120 on plus 100.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right. Thank you.
If you want an easy way to figure out the arbitrage, like sometimes I don't feel like taking out the calculator, or I'm at work and I just want to get a bet in as quickly as possible because the arbitrage opportunities tend to move pretty quickly as people get on them. What you can do is you can put the total payout, which means the total amount that you're betting plus the amount of profit that you're making, add it together on your calculator or something on your web browser, and then you can minus the amount you're betting on the other side and just try to get it to even. That's how I like to do it. Just a quick and dirty way to kind of ensure that you're making the profit, you're not betting too much, and you're not betting too little. And then I'll compare the two numbers because generally when you bet on a sports book, it'll tell you the final payout after you make the bet. And then you just compare and you make sure that your final payout is equal and doesn't really matter who wins. As long as you do that, you should be good.
And I feel like we could do a whole segment on arbitrage betting, really, because you also want to make sure you're not betting really weird numbers, because then those gets flagged by sports books. So you don't want to bet like $102.37. It just looks weird.
100%. That is an extremely important point that Edison makes, and couldn't recommend that enough. Generally, what I'll do for the arbitrage is I'll try to get as even to a number close to 100 or 1,000 as possible, depending on how much money I kind of have lying around in that account. And then I'll go do it as close as possible without getting into decimal points. Usually 75, 80, or a few $100 on one side or the other. It doesn't raise as many red flags, and B, it actually helps you get into VIP status if you're able to move a lot of money around daily.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, the VIP status that's getting really popular now. Yeah, I found those to be quite lucrative.
I will say the VIP experiences has been downgraded across almost all the books. I think as it's gotten more popular, they've dropped a lot of the benefits. So not so happy with it, but I had a good run there for a while. All right, Prince, are we ready for baseball?
Yeah. Go ahead, guys. I'm still getting these bets in. Sorry. Go ahead.
Drew, how did Parker Messick do yesterday? And then give us your best bet for today.
Yeah, first I'll say I saw people's best friends with arbitrage. If you have like 50% boost, you can make a lot of money with that stuff. But when it comes to Parker Messick, we got screwed from we got screwed out of it again. 5.2 innings pitch, kind of like we saw with Framber. But you know what? We bounced back. We made the right reads with it. A little 3-day losing streak. You know what? We're fine. We're going to go now with, I think, the ultimate workhorse this year, Sandy Alcantara, over 18.5 outs. I believe it's at minus 104 in DK. This is a guy that's covered this 3 out of his last 4 games and 5 out of his last 7. Just got his last 3 games alone. He's had 20 innings pitched and given up 0 runs. Not just 0 runs, he's only given up 11 hits, and he's had about 18 strikeouts. So this guy's been on fire. He did it against teams. I know the Angels aren't great, the Mets aren't great, but he did against the Phillies as well too. He's facing a Reds team who, I believe it's at the Reds in a hitter-friendly park. But the Reds have been up and down. They are a high strikeout team. They also rely on the long ball, but Sandy produces a heavy ground ball rate. The main reason I say that is Sandy hasn't given up a home run in 3 straight games as well. And he's given up 17 home runs on the year, which is more than usual. But his game, a lot of that's outliered from multiple games of like 3 home runs out of nowhere. But I really like Sandy here. The Marlins aren't really necessarily carrying. They didn't trade him, which was kind of surprising, but they're not necessarily caring about his workload. And Sandy, let's be honest, he decides when he comes out. So he'll want to go 100 pitches. And the way he pitches, it doesn't really, blow out his arms. Since we saw his last time that happened, it's not like he's pitching 300 innings or stuff like that. But I think over 18 and a half for somebody who's been dominating in at least innings and controlling batters and effective pitch counts. This is very favorable to back. And I believe he's had 5 full days of rest too.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I do have a play in that game as well. I'm sticking to the first inning, but I definitely like Sandy Alcantara. He has shown some really good stuff as of late. The barrel rate to hard hit rate, I don't have it in front of me, but it was something like 7% to 36.5%, which are numbers that you definitely want to be looking at when you're if your pitch to contact and your barrel rate and hard hit rate are fantastic, then they should have success. Also going deep because they're not pitching around the count. They're just going straight after the batter. Love what I've been seeing from Alcantara, and I'm definitely on board on this one. Let's get back in the win column.
100%. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yep. All right. Let's get to the Yankees. This is a game that I had circled as soon as the Yankees lost yesterday, because it seems to be that they oscillate between having an offense and not having an offense. The defense isn't a problem, right? They've made some massive improvements with their new additions to really bring their defensive rating up. Up from being last in the league. But they're doing better defensively. Their bullpen is fantastic. It really just is that offense, and I think that they can get to the Blue Jays today. So let's get into it here. Blue Jays are really just trying to hold on to any playoff hope that is possible. Shane Bieber is starting on the mound, and his underlying metrics are not pretty. His FIP to XFIP numbers, sure, it shows that he's a little unlucky. The FIP is 490, the XFIP is 419 at home over the last couple months. But when you're looking again at the underlying metrics, they're just terrible across the board. You're starting with a walk rate at near 12%. So I guess that would be the main indicator whether he pitches well or not, is if he has that control. If he doesn't have that control, it's game over, because you pair that with a over 10.5% barrel rate, 44.5% hard hit rate, and a 16.5% strikeout rate. Those are not good things to be holding your head up, especially against the Yankees, who may not be the same team without Judge and Stanton and Bellinger, but they have plenty of power. And if they get contact off you, they will punish you. I really don't think that Bieber is going to have it today. Even if he does, he's only going to last 5 or 6 innings. And then you're going to be facing the Blue Jays bullpen, which has been falling as of late. On the Yankees side, we get Garrett Cole. He had a slightly rough return to the MLB, coming back from injury, but through the last 6 starts, he has maybe not technically 6 quality starts in a row, but he has had basically 6 quality starts in a row. I like where his control is at. The numbers, underlying metrics are rapidly improving. You can see it by his 26.5% strikeout rate to a 5% walk rate. The barrel rate and hard hit rates keep coming down. And if he continues the way that he has been, he will be a bona fide ace once again as the season wraps up. I think that the Yankees are just the better team here. I know the price isn't pretty at minus 148, but I'm willing to take the juice here. Drew, any thoughts on the Yankees today at the Blue Jays?
Yeah, I really like your take on this, and something I've mentioned is you always want to back an ace when they're down, whether it's their individual plays or their like team plays in general, because usually they bounce back, and it's kind of like what I mentioned with the Max Fried thing. I know the first one I hit, but the second one, his over 17 and a half outs was, I believe it was like minus 100, like minus 103, and then yesterday it was like minus 190. So you get to the point where you want to back the ace while they're down, while Vegas odds low, because eventually going to bounce back. It can't be scary, but I expect Garrett Cole to come back to his form eventually, and you're not going to get those numbers again if he does come back to his form.
Yeah, and I think we've been seeing it again. 6 straight starts in a row where he's given up 2 or 3 or less runs every single game. The strikeouts have been there. The barrel rate has really been there. Everything is kind of looking up. Now, he is still just a above average pitcher, but we know the potential and we know where he's working back to. And I like to believe in him. I think he's going to do well. I don't mind if you want to get the juice down a little bit, parlaying the Yankees' first 5 money line with the full game money line. But if you're only saving 25 cents on juice, that's not so worth it to me. Just take the full game money line or just take the first 5 and don't worry about the rest of it. Prince, any thoughts on the MLB today before I give and rattle off some first inning plays? Partly to make up from yesterday. They're not going to be on the recap screen, but if you guys are listening, I would advise you to follow carefully.
Yeah, nothing for me. Let's get to those first inning plays.
All right, everybody ready? Drew, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm buckled
Yeah,
in. I got my seatbelt on. Let's do it.
Ready for it.
All right, I got the yes run first inning first, and then I'll go to the rest of the no run first innings. Yes run first inning, Royals, Angels. All right, we're going to do it. Next up, Marlins, Reds, no run first inning, minus 130. White Sox, Tigers, no run first inning, minus 106. Yankees, Blue Jays, no run first inning, minus 125. Red Sox, Pirates, no run first inning. Mariners, Astros, and Rockies, Giants, also all no run first innings. Hopefully you guys wrote that down. If you have any questions or you want me to repeat it, I can do that as well. Oh, you know what? All right, I'll give out these last 2 as well. Brewers, Dodgers, no run first inning, and Orioles, Rays, no run first inning. As the season gets closer to the end, I really feel like pitchers are starting to button down the hatches. Teams are struggling a little bit as the colder weather kind of comes in, and I'm going to be smashing these no run first innings through the rest of the season. Drew, any thoughts?
I'll say I like all those. My favorite one is kind of what I mentioned, the pitcher wise, and you mentioned too. I love what you said. No runs first inning for Reds Marlins. Of course, Sandy's the vet. He's been on fire, and Chase Burns has been better, even better than last year. He's been electric. It's very hard to pick him up the first inning because it's not just the speed he throws; it's just like how he throws the ball as well too. He reaches like 99, 100. Kind of like his mechanics, and it's very hard to pick him up early. The Marlins don't strike out a lot, but they do swing quite a bit. But Chase Burns is one of those where he can get the ball on the ground if he needs to, and even in that ballpark, I think these offenses struggle to go until later on in the game.
This was actually almost my official play, and then I pivoted late at like 12:30 in the morning last night to the Yankees play, which I also really liked. Chase Burns should be coming as a bounce back. He had a terrible outing last time out, and I think that he will bounce back successfully. The Marlins do struggle against Tier A pitchers. The Reds at home are a little bit dangerous in the first inning, but Sandy Alcantara is fine, so I'm good with the minus 130 juice. I wouldn't pay the minus 150 that the market opened up at, though. Just a caveat there. It is a price point at minus 130. I wouldn't go past minus 135. Maybe minus 140 at the most. All right, Prince. We're going to talk about UFC and soccer today. Which one would you like to get to first?
Go ahead and get to UFC, Mosh. Give me a minute here. I'm taking care of something real quick. So just go ahead and start with UFC if you don't mind.
All right, let's get to it, Drew. I know that you have some plays. We talked about it last week. I ended up switching my positions based on what we talked about and based on my further research here. I did give out my full article last night, so if you guys haven't checked that out, go check it out. The full article will be released at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. But if you want the action now, which I highly recommend, getting the juice in where it is, you have a free 2-week trial. You can find that on my Substack. All right, Drew, where are we going first in the UFC?
Here, my two is I have Fernandez to beat Turner. I think he's plus 130 now. I believe he's like plus 120, find plus 125 elsewhere. But even though Turner is the favorite here, I really am a big fan of Fernandez. Ever since his losing his debut, he's won 3 straight UFC fights. I just think overall Fernandez can be the better fighter, and he has a very tough chin. And another thing with him is he also has a takedown accuracy of 100% and a takedown defense of 76%, which will help in the long run. I feel like Fernandez is getting underrated in this fight too. No disrespect to Turner, but I think this is kind of like, oh, he's still newer, he's a newer fighter tax kind of thing, and we're going to see more out of him. And I want to take Fernandez here gladly at plus 120.
All right, this is going to be a showdown between me and you, buddy, because I am on Jalen Turner. I really like what he brings to the table. He has the reach advantage. He has the height advantage. I do see Fernandez struggling to get in close. You're right about the takedowns. But when you're looking at Turner's defense, he does also have a 75% takedown defense, and I think that is going to be probably the most important factor in this fight. Can he keep this on the feet? And if he does, I like the volume that Turner brings. It's also going to matter on how much Fernandez can keep darting in and out of range. If he can keep himself out of range, as he likes to do, he should be able to land those pot shots and kind of take over on decision. But if he doesn't, and he's not able to, and this gets into a dirty fight, I do like Turner, who has a little bit more power to kind of decide this one. But I do respect your play, but I'm on Jalen Turner minus 150.
Oh, I respect your play as well too. I think this is going to be one of my favorite fights. It's honestly, this is the fight I'm probably looking most forward to. That's not the main event. I will say that. And I think it's going to be very exciting because it's just like you said, this is all based off of, and we see this in UFC a lot, is who controls the match, who comes in with their sticking with their game plan. And if Fernandez doesn't come in, he's too intimidated and doesn't stick with his game plan, he's going to lose. The way Fernandez can win is he wants to make this a ground game if he can, and he's very good at that. But Turner needs to make sure this is on the feet. So I'm looking forward to this fight. It's going to be a good showdown.
Yeah, out of respect, though, I didn't put it in my official recap play today, so you can find that on my article or follow Drew. Either one is good with me. All right, Drew, what else you got for me on the UFC today?
So my final official play, of course, I've leaned, but I would say this one's official. I really like this play. Fight to start round 3 for Barbosa versus Ribovic. I'm pretty sure it's Ribovic, but it's at plus 120. Barbosa, of course, he's pretty old. He's been fighting for a long time, but he does have a tough chin. He does have a tough chin at the end of the day, and this is one of those where both fighters generally go pretty far in fights. I think for Barbosa, 9 out of his last 11 fights have gone to the 3rd round. And then I think 4 out of the last 6 fights for Ribovic has gone into the 3rd round. I don't really see either fighter knock each other out. Both have pretty tough chins at the end of the day. And I could just see this fight, going to at least the 2 rounds. Someone could have knocked down 3rd round, but I don't see where there could be a knockout in the first 2 rounds because both these fighters aren't one of those that'll just lay down too easily. Especially even Barbosa is a lot older. I think he's in his late 30s.
40.
Even if he's not, he's like 40, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Even if he's 40, something he does is he's very good at prolonging fights and not giving up so easily. We've seen it with certain fighters. So I like this fight to start with this.
I'm on board. I took the value on over 1.5 rounds at minus 118. I don't mind this going the distance either, but I think that this is the sharp play. I think a lot of people are looking at a 40-year-old facing somebody who has 7.27 strikes landed per minute, significant strikes landed per minute, which is insane amount of volume. So I do think that Barboza is able to keep in this match. He is one of those people who figures it out. He's a veteran, he's a savvy veteran. We hear this terminology a lot, and he fits that to a T. He will likely use insane leg strikes to try to keep this fight from getting too messy too early, and I like him to draw it out because I think that is the way that he wins here. That is his path to victory, and I don't think Ribovics is going to be able to change that profile from Barboza. So yeah, I'm definitely on the over 1.5 rounds, and I like the going into the third round as well.
And I'll say this about Barboza: if anybody who doesn't want to see and you see Barboza, he's probably one of the most fit 40-year-olds you'll probably ever see in your life.
Ever. I mean, it's insane.
The dude's like a robot. Like
yeah, not quite RoboCop, but pretty close. Shout out RoboCop, the person and the movie series. All right, I'm going to get into 3 plays that I probably like the most here. The first one's going to be on Vicente Lacroix. I mentioned this yesterday, and I'm just bringing it in here to make it official. But this is going to just be pure kinetic energy from both of these fighters. I really like both fight. I like the fight not to go the distance as well, but I do find that Lacroix has the damage necessary to be able to end this one early. If Gore is not able to find a submission, I really think that he's going to struggle in his striking defense. I think getting plus money on Lacroix is just too much of value here. The defensive gaps in Gore's, I kind of just mentioned it, but the defensive gaps in Gore's metrics is just not great. And usually when you see someone taking over seven significant strikes per minute landed on them, that is a recipe for disaster. I'm just going to take the person who has better defense. Second up, or unless Drew, do you have any thoughts on that fight? And I'll go to my second one.
Yeah, I was looking at the fight and last night and seeing what you said. I really liked your take on you saying like fight to not go the distance. I would say that would be my favorite play. So I'm going to tell you on that because I didn't really find anything I 100% liked, but I liked your analysis on it yesterday and today.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. If I had the over, it'd be what I would call a sweaty early cash. All right, let's get to the second play here. Charles Johnson here, minus 120 money line. I really like this line. I think that this is just a little disrespectful to him. He is Mikey, hold on a second. Sorry. He is fighting an alumni from the Dana White's Contender Series, Eduardo Chapelin. And I just don't like him stepping in last minute. If he had a full training camp and he had some UFC experience, maybe I would lean for Chapelin. But you're going to give me Charles Johnson fighting someone who's coming in last minute. Now, you really just have to question, is the cardio there? Is Chapelin going to be able to really use the grappling first approach that he has demonstrated in the Contender Series and be able to use that against Johnson? I say no. Johnson's defense sits around 66% takedown, but he has the veteran and he has the strength of schedule. So I'm going to take the minus 120. I don't really like Chapelin. If you wanted to wait live, you can probably get a better live number after Chapelin exhausts himself in the first or second round. And you can also see if Johnson's able to keep his defense solid. And if he can't, game's over. Chapelin's going to beat him straight out. But I do think that his defense and savvy presence is going to be able to beat out Chapelin overall. Drew, any thoughts on this one?
No entire thoughts on that one, but I do agree with you, especially with the Contender Series thing. It's hard to back someone who is relatively newer and they haven't really put their feet in the water in the main UFC. So hey, for all we know, he could shock the world, but I agree with you with the Charles Johnson.
Yeah, it's so tough physically to come off late notice and be able to fight somebody who has been preparing for the last few months. All right, let's get to the main card here. I'll mention quickly the co-main event. I like Mackenzie Dern, Jillian Robertson to fight not to go to the distance. You can get that at plus 120, which I thought was ridiculous. And you're talking about two women who are absolutely absolute submission specialists. The only reason why it's not an official play here is because sometimes when we see these submission specialists face each other, they tend not to want to go into the other person's wheelhouse, so they keep the fight standing, contrary to popular belief. But if this fight goes down, someone's going to get a submission somewhere. And otherwise, Dern would probably be my favorite to win it out, and just, a power matchup. It's just, if you're looking at their underlying metrics, Dern lands 3.5 strikes landed per minute. Jillian Robertson lands 2.71. So it's not really that close in my book. All right, let's get to the main event. Islam Makhachev. Now, he is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the MMA world. I think hands down. I'm sure there could be arguments made for other people, but this man is obnoxiously good. And we are getting reminiscent of, what was his name? Conor McGregor now with Ian Machado Gary, who is also from Ireland, and he also likes to run his mouth. He already said that he bought a UFC champion, a title belt display case in his home. I don't think he's going to get it. I mean, Makhachev is just so good. The way I see this fight playing out, Makhachev has insane grappling, but he can also box, and he's a great boxer. Now, if Ian Machado Gary can keep this fight on the feet, which is what he will need to do in order to keep himself from being just one-dimensional, if he can keep this fight on the feet, I still like him to lose. I mean, yeah, sure, he does land 4.78 strikes landed per minute, and he does absorb only 2.86, but Makhachev dishes out basically the same amount of volume, and he has this as better defense behind the line. Makhachev has a 91% takedown defense. Even if Gary wants to switch it out, he won't be able to. And then on the other side, Gary does have an 80% takedown defense, and he has shown mettle against a lot of people. But will he be able to hold up over 5 rounds? I think not. My best bet here is going to be taking Makhachev on the money line, parlay that with the over 2.5 rounds at minus 140 over on Bet365. That's the way I see it. Keep in mind that the last 3 or 4 main card events have all ended in the first round. I think that we see the trend reverse tonight. Drew, any thoughts on the main cards?
No, I definitely agree with you. I'll be honest, like, he's obnoxiously good, and I root for him to lose out of respect. But if I had to make any kind of bet in this game, it's not, of course, official play. I agree with everything you said, but I think it's not bad value. Of course, there's going to be boosts that will be given out of this wazoo, because this is the biggest fight we've probably had since McGregor got hurt. I can't count that, but biggest fight we had since the UFC Freedom 250. I like Makhachev to a double chance win by KO submission at minus 125, which isn't bad value. You can get a boost. That's good, because even though Makhachev does get a lot of submissions, he can knock people out if he needs to. And I think that's not terrible value for somebody. It's basically saying you think he's going to win and it's not going to go the distance. So I like your play a lot too.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to hedge in both scenarios. My thinking was that Gary his defense will hold up for about 2-ish rounds, and then I'm just sweating it out on that third round just to get it through the halfway mark. I didn't want to get, if his defense starts to fail him later in rounds, Makhachev might be able to just dominate him and find a submission, which is kind of the other way that I was playing around with it. I think you can get Makhachev by submission, specifically. I forget the line exactly, but it was somewhere between 200 and 400, which I thought actually offered pretty good value. In my mind, if he ends this one early, it's going to be by submission, and it's because Gary couldn't hold his own on the defensive front. 230 Makhachev by submission. Not a bad look, but I'm going to go with just the over 2.5 and not play around with the danger there. Any final thoughts on the UFC? Any other fights that you want to hear analysis from or questions on, or anything that you wanted to bring up? I did write up every single fight. Any thoughts?
No thoughts on my side.
Prince, any thoughts on the UFC? And also, Addison, if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to step in.
Nope, nothing for me.
All right, Prince, I think we're ready for soccer. What do we got for this weekend? This is the last weekend before everybody comes back, right?
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we're getting into it here. A lot of the leagues are starting to come back. So the weekends are going to get pretty hectic here in the soccer betting world. So the cards are going to get bigger and bigger. So more of an incentive, guys, for you guys to come join the VIP channel. All the plays will be posted there. I'm only going to be able to post a few of them here on the show, obviously for time purposes. Here we can't do a 2 hour show, otherwise I would. But yeah, so more of a reason, guys. Like check out Moshe's. Premium picks. Check out my VIP picks. As we're getting into it here, we're gonna get more and more picks as more of these sports come swinging around here and starting up. So we're only gonna be able to give a limited amount of plays here on the show. So if you guys want our full cards, make sure to definitely check both of our plays out over on his premium channel and my VIP channel.
Just want
Uh,
just wanted to point out, just real
yeah,
quick, if you guys have a problem paying for it, or if you can't afford it, or for whatever reason you feel like you deserve it, reach out to us. Or we're reasonable people, and we want people to read our stuff. Reach out to us, and maybe we can work something out with you. Just saying.
absolutely. Yep, 100%. Yep, great point for sure. We'll definitely work with you on whatever financial issues you might need. The whole point is that we're trying to grow this community, and the way I look at it, for me it's $5. It's not necessarily a fee. It's more of just a donation, like a kickback. Just so maybe I can get some pizza here and watch one of these games once a month. Right, it's like
Can I
pizza
just
money.
say, I
So
love that
that's
you
the
just used the word kickback.
yeah. What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
Okay. Kickback. No? Is that okay? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's kickback. All right, but anyway, I'm glad I made you laugh there. All right, but I do have a live play here, guys, that we'll get into here real quick. For the live listeners here, again, you guys can join us live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. So what I'm looking at right now, I got a 2-leg parlay that I'm looking at. The first leg is going to be in the Estonia Premium League. That's going on right now as we speak. We're in the 16th minute. We have Nome United taking on Temecula. I like both teams to score in this one. This has hit in 7 straight head to head between these two sides. Both of these teams are averaging a goal scored and a goal conceded per game. Nome United are averaging nearly 2 goals scored and 2 goals conceded per game. So we're likely to see goals in this one at some point. And you'll get a better price on it than I did pre-match because we're still sitting at 0-0 here early on in the 17th minute. So we're looking at both teams to score. Nome United, Temecula. Excuse me. We're going to parlay that with a 12:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff here, kicking off in about 10 minutes here as we're doing the show live. In the Bundesliga 2 over in Germany, looking at Holstein Kiel taking on St. Pauli. Again, both teams to score has hit in 7 straight between these two sides as well. St. Pauli having been relegated from Bundesliga last season, I do expect them to put on a nice performance here in the Bundesliga 2 and have a great chance to get promoted right back up to the Bundesliga. So likely going to see goals in their games. And Holstein Kiel, same thing. They kind of tend to play a little bit more open brand of football as well. So I like both teams scoring this one. So Nome United Temecula in the Estonia Premium League. That bet is live. Both teams to score. We're going to parlay that with Holstein Kiel St. Pauli in the Bundesliga 2. That one's kicking off here at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And those two together, you're probably going to get plus money. I got it at, well, I think it was plus 115 if I'm not mistaken. But you'll definitely get a better price on that as you're doing it live. So quick live play for you guys, but let's get into the official plays now. First up, looking at Saturday, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. The ASEAN Cup is back. We're in the semifinal stages here. We're looking at Thailand taking on Singapore in the ASEAN Cup semifinal. Again, 9 a.m. Eastern kickoff Saturday morning. This is a 2-leg home and away. So the semifinals here, they're going to be home and away. This is the home match for Thailand. And then in a few days, they'll be going away to Singapore for the second leg. So similar to what you see in Champions League, Europa League, those kind of tournaments. I like both teams scoring this one plus 115. Don't really trust either defensive team in this one. I think although they've been a little bit solid defensively during this tournament, I do think they're going to go for it in this one. I really can't see this being a tight and cagey match. I just think there's too much on the line. And especially the home team, they really don't want to have to go to Singapore, like Thailand being the home team. They don't want to have to go to Singapore and have to win a match over there. So I think they're going to go for it. Singapore's going to go for it. I don't trust either of these defenses despite their clean sheet. They're good, not clean sheet, but good defensive records for in this tournament. They do have deficiencies on the defensive side. I think those can get exposed by both teams. So give me Thailand and Singapore, both teams score. And you're going to get that at plus 115. Another game I'm looking at for tomorrow night. MLS, Major League Soccer, is back in action as we're going to be taking a little brief pause from the Leagues Cup. Got a nice slate tomorrow night in the MLS. Two games I'm looking at for goals. First one's going to be Cincinnati and Orlando. Cincinnati, we've talked about it before, one of the highest scoring games in all of the world. When you're talking about the top 15 leagues, Cincinnati matches are averaging over 4 goals per match. That is number one in the entire world in top 15 leagues in terms of goals per match. So we are seeing goals flying in on both sides every single time Cincinnati steps on the field. Orlando, we already know about them with their potent offense, adding Antoine Griezmann now to this offensive lineup here that has been pumping in goals recently. But they're likely to concede at any point as well. One of the worst defenses in the MLS. So you got two teams that love to score, two teams that love to concede. Can't see how this doesn't hit. Give me Cincinnati, Orlando over 2.5 goals. And that's going to be the first leg of a two-leg parlay. The second leg I'm looking at in the MLS Saturday night, going to be between Colorado Rapids and Sporting Kansas City. We've talked a lot about Sporting Kansas City. Of course, that's our dear friend Michael's favorite team. Unfortunately, they're coming on hard times right now. The defense is just not getting any better at all. They are conceding goals on a regular basis. Colorado at home likes to score goals, and I think if you want to take Colorado on a team total on this one, I wouldn't hate it, but I'm just going to take the game total over 2.5 goals. So Colorado, Kansas City over 2.5. Cincinnati, Orlando over 2.5. That parlay comes in at minus 118. And then finally for me, we're looking at the WAFCON Women's African Cup of Nations, the final taking place Sunday morning. This one's, I believe, going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern. Cameroon taking on the Cinderella story, Malawi. Malawi, what a story they have been. The lowest ranked team to ever qualify for a WAFCON final. They are ranked 153rd in the world. It's been an absolute astonishing story for them, not only to make this tournament. It's the first time they've made this tournament, and now they're all the way into the final championship game. So they are being led by their two superstars, the Chawinga sisters, who play in the NPSL here in America, and WSL, sorry, in America here. They have been really the goal scorers for this team, and they've been carrying this team all the way to the final. Looking at Malawi, both teams to score has hit in all 5 of their WAFCON matches. Can't see that changing in this one. Give me Cameroon, Malawi. Both teams to score at minus 130. They're not able to keep a clean sheet, but they can score against anybody, and they've shown that already as they have won all 5 of their matches. And both teams to score has hit. Both teams scoring over 2.5 actually has hit in all 5 matches. So Cameroon, Malawi, both teams score in the Women's African Cup of Nations. Minus 130. Mosh, any thoughts for you on anything I had to say?
No, pretty much on board. Trying to look up my model right now on Orlando. Yeah, I like the over 2. I have a projected total of 3.5, so that works out there. What was the second game from from not the MLS but the MLS teams?
Yeah, from the MLS, the second parlay was Colorado Sporting Kansas City.
Colorado Sporting Kansas City. Let's see if we can find them. Nope, not finding them right now. But I am. Oh, here it is. Yep. 2.6 goals projected. So on board on that one as well. 1.4 expected goals from home. 1.2 from on the road. So yeah, Sporting Kansas City. Shout out to our main man Michael. Definitely a team that I've won a few times on the straight up money line in the past few weeks. Looking forward to getting back on that soccer gravy train.
Yeah, I wouldn't be betting on money line anytime going forward, though. I'm just they're in really hard times right now. They're looking like maybe the worst team in the MLS right now. So tough times for Kansas City.
Hey, they cashed 2 out of the last 3 or 4, and each time the number has been plus 550 or plus 650 or better.
Well, you will always get a great payout from them, that's for sure. So if you're looking for a nice payout, you're going to get it with Kansas City on the money line. They're probably going to be around plus 400, plus 500 every game from the money line.
Yeah, trust the model, man. Trust the model. It's been fun.
Facts.
I already have a few plays going off. By the way, here, you want one? And you're gonna hate this because I'm pretty sure you don't link them. But LA Galaxy.
No, I don't have a problem with
No, you
Galaxy.
don't.
No,
Okay, I
what's
remember you
no,
talked
no, no.
about
What's the
them
play?
like a few weeks ago, being like, "Oh, they're terrible. They're never good."
Yeah, they are terrible. Yeah, I don't hate. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, but they are terrible. But what's your play?
I took the money line at plus 350 over Houston Dynamo.
Are they home or away? Who's home?
So hard
Let me
to
look.
tell
Let me look.
on these
Let me look. Let me look. I can tell.
because
Let's see,
some books have
Galaxy
it,
and
the first.
Houston. Houston's the home team. Houston's the home team. Um, I'm not really big on Houston. I'll be honest with you. So if there were a game the Galaxy could win, probably would be against Houston. Looking at their head to head, let's see, they've drawn the last three. Houston at home, they've been undefeated in three straight against the Galaxy. Um, yeah, I'd say honestly, if honestly, guys, if you're looking for a play, and not to go against your play at all, of course, there's a great chance the Galaxy could legitimately win this game. But both teams to score looks like a common theme. As I'm looking at the head to head, I might actually end up playing this. Both teams to score is hitting pretty regularly between these two sides, so might be another way to look at this. Maybe both teams to score and Galaxy to win, like another caveat and another way to play that, just to get probably boost the odds a little bit.
I would just take the both teams to score in that case. I think that's a sharp look. And remember, I'm looking for the most maximum value. That is what my um, model is really based off of, trying to find market inefficiencies. So that's the way that I'm playing it on there, and I just straight bet everything that comes from there. But as a personal play, like something that I like, I think the both teams to score by itself is probably just the better look, safer look for sure.
Yeah, I agree. But no, to your point about the Galaxy winning against Houston, no, I don't think that's crazy. I definitely, like I said, I'm a little bit out on Houston. I'm out on both teams, so it could go either way. So yeah, I think there's value on that.
Some fun weekend action indeed. Anything else that we want to get to on this weekend in general? We're coming up on the hour. Lots of sports. We did talk about UFC. We talked about soccer, MLB. We haven't really touched on any futures. If either of you guys have that, even though I already made the recap screen. But anything else that you guys want to talk about, Prince?
Yeah.
Sorry, Drew. Go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say we don't have to, of course, have a full discussion. I just wanted to say, because I don't know if we mentioned it, but you know what? Congratulations, Russell Westbrook, on retirement. As much as people would think about him, regardless if you think he's not the most efficient guy or stuff like that, he was an athletic freak. He revolutionized the game in some way, shape, or form, showing, hey, the triple-double is possible after Oscar Robinson. And like I said before, as much as what we can say about the man, something he did, he always gave it his all. He always showed 100% work ethic. Never saw him usually taking plays off, and you can't say that about many players that will give it their all every single day in and out and do it for the team. And he wouldn't off the bench when he needed to, and accepted that he wasn't the player he was. So I just want to pay respect to the man where it's due.
I want to get you guys' opinion on this. He reminds me of the Pete Rose of NBA, no? In terms of like how hard of a worker. Because that's all I hear about Pete Rose. Like, oh, he played the game hard, right? That's the credit that he's given, right? You look at Russell Westbrook, like you can never question his intensity and his love for the game and his work ethic, right? The guy was just an absolute machine every time he stepped on the court. Is that a fair comparison to make? You guys would know better than me, but is that similar?
I'm less familiar with Westbrook's consistent production, but from what I understand, yeah, Pete Rose definitely had that work ethic. But from what I understand, the most impressive piece was the consistent ability to keep hitting. He was a monster in getting contact. I don't know. It's a hard comparison, but
Okay, yeah, I just thought I've heard, anytime, because there's always going to be debate. Oh, should he be in the Hall of Fame? Should he not? Right? And the backing for him to be in the Hall of Fame. Oh, nobody's ever played the game harder than Pete Rose. Like I've heard that multiple times from multiple Major League Baseball analysts on TV. Like nobody's ever played the game harder than Pete Rose. So I thought that was like a common thing, but maybe not. Maybe it's not.
So the reason Pete Rose is in the Hall of Fame is for legal reasons, but yeah.
We know that. We know why he's not. That wasn't the part of the question. We all know the reason why he's not in the Hall of Fame. But in terms of the support for those who say, okay, forget about the gambling side of things, but why is he in the Hall of Fame? Right? There's always that debate. That's what people seem to bring up. The most common thing that people bring up is how hard he played the game. He played the game the right way, and he always gave 100% effort when he was on the field. So I just thought that was like something that was like universally accepted by everyone, but maybe not.
No, I think you're right, but playing hard every single day doesn't make a Hall of Famer by itself. You also have to have the talent and consistency to back that up. and he had that in spades.
Yeah,
That's
sorry, I
like,
didn't mean to make this like a Hall of Fame debate. I was just
no,
my
no,
only
no, no.
comparison was to compare, and because I'm familiar with Westbrook and so is Drew. Westbrook is one of the hardest working players in the NBA. He always gave maximum effort. My only parallel to that was Pete Rose. Forget about the Hall of Fame debate. Forget about the gambling side of things, but just on the field, from what I always heard, was that he was a hard worker. Not to say that that's merit to be Hall of Fame or not. I'm not talking about Hall of Fame at all, but just talking about what he did on the field in comparison to what Westbrook did on the court. I think there's probably some similarities that can be drawn in terms of their work ethic and their effort, on the field and on the court. So that was my only point I wanted to make.
Yeah, no, I hear it. By the way, in my opinion, which I don't know how much weight that carries, but in my opinion, Pete Rose isn't in the Hall of Fame not because of the gambling issues. Sure, that was the start of it, but it was really because he was a difficult person and he refused to go along with the program. I think there were multiple opportunities where he could have apologized, said things, been into agreed meets, and he kind of ruined his own reputation, I think, over the years, and he did not allow himself a redemption arc that Americans so desperately need. If he played and talked the talk and played the political games that you need to get into the Hall of Fame, which unfortunately is a realistic part of it, I think that they would have let him in. I think they still would let him in. I think it really has to do with the amount of difficulties that he caused off the field and the conflicts that he brought into upper management and in general that really caused people to be like, it'd be a bad precedent to let him in,
Yeah,
Give
Drew,
credit to others.
Yeah, Drew, what do you think about that, Drew?
Westbrook point. I think it's similar to the point where there are players that, kind of in a way, not necessarily like changed the game, but players that were just gritty and grindy. And we saw Pete Rose, he had the all-time record. He won an MVP along with, Westbrook won an MVP as well. And the thing about Westbrook, people impossible to get a triple double after Oscar Robertson. Like people said, it's impossible to have a triple double. Oscar Robertson never did. He did it 4 times, and people said it was impossible to get 4,000 hits, and Pete Rose did it. And neither of them were necessarily the most skilled players, but like it's skilled, like in terms of in certain ways. Like Pete Rose wasn't the most athletic person. He was very skilled at what he did with hitting, while you can say Russell Westbrook was one of the most athletic point guards we've ever seen, but he wasn't necessarily skilled. But both of them had extreme work ethic on their weaknesses to where they never gave up, and no matter the doubters they had, and they said, you know what, I'm going to play my game, and it's going to work how it is.
Yeah, so I think Westbrook, in my opinion, you can't deny his effort, right? I think he was a little bit of a stat sufferer during his career, and I wonder how much he contributed to winning necessarily. Because I think the year that Durant left, I believe they missed the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. But that's the league. I thought that was the year that he led the league in triple doubles, if my memory serves me correct. So you always have to wonder about that, right? How much did he actually impact winning? And look, we're coming up against the clock, so I think this question might be maybe for another time. But I think the real question, the burning question that's going to be asked now is Westbrook a Hall of Famer? Right? I think that's going to be the hot topic going forward now. Like I said, we're already at 12:30, so maybe not the time because we could probably go on and on about
He's
that.
a first
You think
He's a
so?
first
Yeah.
ballot.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm on the fence
He
about it.
got named in the top 75 players ever, so he's going to be first.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. So, but I'm
I'm
just
not saying I
saying.
agree. I'm not saying if you agree or not, but he probably will.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He probably will, but whether do I think he should be or not? I'm on the fence, but I think you're right. He probably will.
All right. That might just have been our question of the day.
It could be. I do have one if you want to do it, or I can save it for Monday. It's
No,
up to you guys.
go for it. What do you got?
All right. Okay, cool. So the question today, we're going to go back to the TV theme. I think that's been an interesting theme that we kind of touched on here. So my question to you guys, is there any reality TV shows that you guys watch? And if so, which ones do you watch? And it can be something maybe you watch with your wife or something, because I'm sure you guys are going to say that. Or maybe there's something you watch on your own. Anything you guys like reality TV wise? Stern, you first.
No.
Great. Nice and easy. All right, Drew, you up?
I mean,
Anything
okay,
for you?
okay. To be fair, I'd never watch it. I never watch it. I used to have a roommate that used to watch it, and when it was on, I would like kind of watch it. But I am not into reality TV for the most part. I guess sports would be my reality TV. But
There you go.
Naked and Afraid.
Do game shows
Okay.
count?
No. Nah,
No,
that's a
no,
different
I
category.
don't mean like no deal, but like those ones that like the Amazing Race and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I would say so. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I would say for mine, something I love to watch. I don't watch as much reality now, because I watched a lot then. Of course, I'll be honest. When I was in college, I did watch Jersey Shore. I mean, I think a lot of people did. It was kind of people's guilty pleasure. They just want to admit it for a certain extent. It was very stupid, but it was fun to watch at the end of the day. Different kinds of Italians, but there was some real Italians. And then something I used to watch all the time when it was live. I usually watch reruns, but I love those chef shows. I loved Hell's Kitchen. I consider that like kind of a reality show because it's more reality, I think, than actual like game, thing. But I agree with you, like saying Deal or No Deal and stuff like that. That's like full on game shows. And then another one that I couldn't really get into, but I'm starting to watch more reruns were Top Chef, and then my favorite one I would watch, and I just loved watching it, Tattoo. I think it's called Tattoo Master. I watched it a long time ago. That was always cool to watch these people like be a tattoo apprentices and stuff. But yeah, those are all Gordon Ramsay and such.
Okay, yeah, I used to watch those too. The Gordon Ramsay ones were always pretty much was a Hell's Kitchen. I think is the main one, right? Then he had some spin-offs. I used to watch some of those as well. But no, the two I watch it. I really don't watch reality TV like that. But there are two shows that I do watch pretty faithfully. That would be definitely Survivor and Big Brother. And Big Brother's on right now. Love Big Brother. I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed of it. Big Brother's by far my favorite. I just find it fascinating. I like the social experiment of it. The drama of it. I don't know. It maybe some of it's manufactured by production, but I don't know. I've always found it interesting. It's definitely my favorite reality TV show.
Hey, you want to hear
So
something interesting?
I can't believe I
sure.
forgot that.
I was almost on a European version. They have their own version of Big Brother. I was at the bar.
Oh man.
I was a bartender, and the recruiters or scouts or whatever you want to call them were looking for people, and I was serving them, and they were eating at my bar, and I ended up talking to them. They were like, "Hey, why don't you come over to the city and try out?" So I went through 2 rounds of interviews, but I wasn't controversial enough. Like I didn't have anything exciting. Whenever they asked me, like, "What do you?" I was like, no, nothing. I'm chill, whatever. And they were like, I didn't realize what Big Brother was at the time. Like I still don't really understand it. It's not my speed. But I was talking to a coworker of mine after the fact, and they were like, "Yeah, you moron. They were looking for people who are going to cause trouble and drama."
Yeah, I mean, you could to be fair, you could have been a floater. There's always a floater on Big Brother who just kind of like lays around the house and sleeps and doesn't really get involved in any game talk. And people don't look at them as a threat, so everyone wants to carry them to the final because they know that they'll beat them in a vote because that this person hasn't done anything but sleep and eat. So there's always like that person who's like, why is this person even on the show? They're not offering anything at all. But no, man, it's basically to give a rough, like a real brief synopsis of what it is. It's basically you're forming alliances and you're voting with those alliances to vote people out, but sometimes you backstab your alliance without them knowing. You form a mini alliance within the alliance, and before you know it, you got like 5 or 6 little groups of 2, 3, 4 who are like voting in groups. But then they might turn on each other and say, "Oh, this person's better for my game." Blah blah blah. It's a whole social construct thing. The whole thing is a social experiment. But I just find it really fascinating, and I'm a couple episodes behind, so I gotta catch up and see who won head of household, who's gonna get nominated to go on the block, and who's going to win the veto to change the noms, and we'll see who gets voted out. I got to catch up here. So, but yeah, a big Brother fan. So, just curious if you guys had anything reality TV wise. But yeah, Big Brother and Survivor. But Survivor kind of annoys me a little bit just because I think the game the challenges are all the same. Every freaking challenge is the same. It's like it's the same format. Every single challenge. You swim out to shore, go jump through some tires, climb up a wall, find a key, do a puzzle over and over and over and over and over again. So I gotta get tired of it. Yeah, so I like Big Brother more, but definitely those two are my favorite. All
Yeah,
right,
fun
that's gonna
fact
do it for
too.
reality TV today. What was that, Drew? What'd you say, Drew?
I was saying real quick, I can't believe I forgot Survivor. My mom used to watch it, of course, like the Housewives crap. But one that I watched repeatedly, and I can't remember, I can't believe I forgot this. But in high school, I watched Fear Factor a lot with Joe Rogan.
Oh God, I could never watch that. I could never watch that. I try. I mean, I did. I mean, I did watch it, but some of those some of those challenges were too much, man. I get squeamish with some of that stuff. Sitting there eating like what was that, like, I don't know. I can't remember some of the stuff, but like handful of live insects and stuff. Ugh, no thanks.
All right. On that note, let's get to our recap. Drew, what?
Nice segue. Yeah, go ahead. Handful of live live insects. All right, guys, give your picks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, live snakes right there.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's better than that. But I have Sandy Alcantara over 18.5 outs at -104. And then for tomorrow, Fernandez money line at +120. And then Barbosa versus Ribovic fight to start round 3 at +120.
Fantastic. I am on the Yankees money line, -148. In the UFC, Vincente Lacroix, +100 money line. Charles Johnson money line, -120. And then Islam Makhachev money line, parlayed with the over 2.5 rounds at -140. All right, Prince, close us out.
Yep. So we're looking at the ASEAN Cup final Saturday morning, and we give me Thailand, Singapore, both teams to score at +115. And Major League Soccer Saturday night, give me Colorado, Kansas City over 2.5 goals, parlayed with Cincinnati, Orlando over 2.5 goals. That one comes in at -118. And then looking at the WAFCON Women's African Cup of Nations final on Sunday morning, we're looking at Cameroon, Malawi, both teams to score at -130. That's going to do it, guys. This has been the Friday edition of the Only Bet Sports Podcast with Drew DeLuca, Stern Bets. I'm the Prince of Picks. Have a fantastic weekend. We will be back again live on Monday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern at Only Bets Podcast over on X/Twitter. Let's cash out these tickets, guys. We'll be back on Monday. Until then, have a great weekend, and we will talk to you all soon. Later.